In his current role, Secretary Becerra oversees child health, public health, medical research, children's mental health, early childhood, efforts to combat child abuse and neglect, and on and on. He's on a daily basis, completely engaged in kids' issues and just is such a great champion. Before being named to be the head of HHS, an appointment that First Focus wholeheartedly endorsed at the time, Secretary Becerra was named First Focus champion for children 3 years in a row in Congress, 2011, 2012, 2013. And he also continues advocacy on behalf of kids as California's Attorney General. In all these areas, we appreciate all his work, and we're so glad he has continued to prioritize kids in his new post, such as working to protect children through the pandemic by implementing much-needed COVID relief through the American Rescue Plan, and by continuing to uplift the child provisions in the Build Back Better framework to ensure progress is made for kids. So we really appreciate all you do, Mr. Secretary, and we so look forward to hearing what you have to say to us today.
Bruce, thank you very much, and to you and to the team at First Focus on Children, thank you for what you're doing every day. Thanks for letting me be part of it. As I said to you before, if we're going to talk about kids and what we have to do, you have me at a low, regardless of what it is, because I know what you're going to do is just going to make life better for all of us. So thanks for your continued engagement on these issues that are so important to our children and to all families in America. I usually start by mentioning, when it comes to kids, what Frederick Douglass said way back 150 years ago. Better to build strong children than to repair broken men. Franklin Roosevelt said something along the same lines when he said that, try as we might, we cannot always build the future for our youth, but we can build our youth for the future. And I think that's what you're all about. Your team has been working hard on that. And when you talk about budgets, those budgets are statements of our values. And I hope that I can convince you that President Biden and his administration have values that are focused on our kids when it comes to budgets. And so I want to thank you for letting me be on board today. I know you're going to have a great session, so I'm going to only spend a few minutes welcoming folks and thanking them for taking an interest. But I'm also going to take a moment to tell you about the President's Build Back Better agenda, because it really is about our future and about building better and stronger children. And so let me start by telling you this. President Biden made a strong commitment early on as candidate Biden to make sure that we invested in children. We always talk about making the right kinds of investments, but usually what happens when it comes time to actually pass a budget, we leave out those who are less able, less capable of lobbying, and that includes our children. Well, in the Build Back Better agenda, brand new ballgame. This is a game changer. Whether it's on child tax credits, which you and I know have already begun to lift so many children and families out of poverty, the fact that the president made that investment when others haven't, the fact that he's now calling for an extension of those child tax credits to go on beyond the term of the previous passage in the American Rescue Plan, that's amazing. And we need to continue that. Behavioral health, this president is focused on making sure that every child, every youth has an opportunity to really learn and succeed in life. And you can't really talk about that for everyone. We'll leave some kids behind unless we focus on behavioral health, especially after this pandemic. And so it should not surprise you that HHS is now investing hundreds of millions of dollars to tackle behavioral health problems that we're seeing now surface in our children, especially during this pandemic. Childcare, well, the child tax credit's great, but how about helping working families that are trying to earn a living by giving them a chance to afford childcare? We just are released about $39 billion in the American Rescue Plan to help families afford childcare. And we're going to do more if the Build Back Better agenda is passed in the coming weeks in Congress. Medicaid Chip, well, I think you've all seen the effort we've made to expand access to Medicaid in every state in the nation. Only 12 states left to do expanded Medicaid. You saw what the president is trying to do with CHIP. We're trying to make the authorization for CHIP permanent, so we don't have to go through the yearly cycle of trying to reauthorize funding for CHIP. That's going to be big. Obviously, the more we help our kids stay healthy, the more our country and our economy stay healthy. Vaccines, what can I tell you? Vaccines, we just announced Starting today, kids can start getting vaccinated that are ages 5 through 11. They now join their brothers and sisters 12 and up, and those adults who can get vaccinated. 15 million vaccines are going out as we speak across the nation to start that first wave of vaccinations for our kids. That's a big one. And the best part about that, no cost to anyone, regardless of your income, where you live, what your status is, you get to get vaccinated. And that means we can have peace of mind moving forward, especially during these holidays, that we're going to be taking care of all of our family, including our young 5 to 11-year-olds. And so this is great news for all of us. And as I've said, if you're really talking about making investments, you're really talking about your values, because where you put your money is what shows where you really want to make a difference. This president wants to make a difference when it comes to kids. We are all in when it comes to focusing on our children. Over 80 programs hosted by HHS in the president's budget for fiscal year 2022 are focused on kids. They benefit kids, whether it's the child abuse prevention and treatment programs that we're going to have, whether it's Head Start, whether it's CHIP. We are all in. And if you think about the president's budget for 2022, we're responsible for 30% of the child funding that will be in that budget at HHS. So you can see how we have to be all in to make it work right for everyone. At the end of the day, we know what it means to make a difference in the lives of American families. And we start at the beginning with our kids. And so we look forward to partnering with you. We know how important it is to have those who know how to get it done on our side. And so we want to be with you as you move forward, Bruce. Please tell your team we thank you for everything you're doing. Please tell everyone who's partnering with you that we're there as well. All in. It's for our kids. It's for our country. I'm thrilled that we get a chance to work with you moving forward. Thanks for having me. Have a great conference and session today, and I look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you so much, Secretary Becerra. We really, really appreciate all you're doing, and I know that your tireless advocacy for kids is a minute by minute thing, and you go from issue to issue for kids, and we really appreciate all you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you very much.